sorry.
It's fine. I'm having technical issues because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's alright.
None of us do. Which I don't understand why you want to do something you don't know how to do.
How's it going, everybody? How you doing? Hi, Kiki. Hi, Amanda. Waiting for a few more people to get in here so I can get this thing underway and started. So, today I'm going to go over the history of dollar coins. We're going to start from 1792, which is going to be the Coinage Act of 1792, and we are going to proceed forward. Because I tried to do it on OBS and I'm having issues, we tried to do it other ways, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to get this one done, and then I'm going to wait and work on it. I'm going to get Braden over here, and he's going to walk me through it like I'm a 2-year-old, so I know for next time.
Can you mute yourself for a minute?
But anywho, do do do. Yes, I need a 13-year-old help. Mm. Yes, I need a 13-year-old help because apparently I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. Yeah, you're cute. So how's work going? We'll get all the pleasantries out of the way. Work doing okay? Ooh, so much fun. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. That way, I'm going to try to keep this an hour long. There's a lot of information to get through. That way, if people can't make it in time, they can watch it later on. So, just so everybody knows, the Coinage Act of 1792 was brought to Congress by Alexander Hamilton. He to do and make me okay. And because of 1792 with the Coinage Act, they had to come up with the U.S. Mint. Now, in order to come up with the U.S. Mint, Congress had to pass a lot of legislation, a lot of bills, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, the history of the dollar coins, they first started making their first dollar coin in 1794. Now, the United States Mint was only in Philadelphia at the time, so at 1794, they only made a 1794 to a 1795, which was called a flowing hair quarter. From 1795 to 1804, they made a drape bust. Now I don't have those coins to show. If you would like, you can look them up to see what they look like. From 1795 to 03, um, they had to take a break on it because only two denominations were being minted every year, so they had to take a break from 95 to 03 so they could get the half cents, the half dismies, the the nickels, which was the half Disney's, the 2 cents, things of that nature. Well, the 2 cents were not yet. The cents, large cents, stuff like that. So that way they could be minted because they couldn't take care of everything like we can today. It wasn't, factory machine run based. So then they came out in 1804. They made an 1804 silver dollar. It's one of the rarest and most famous coins only because simple bookkeeping error was highly prized rarity, and it's been established for about a century and a half because someone oopsed on the books. So we didn't learn this till the middle of like the 1900s. 1804 dollars were actually minted in 1834. So since they were produced in 1834, we didn't know about it, and the reason they were minted was because of the rulers in Asia for trade. So they used silver dollars because of the silver content and the weight of it. They used those for silver dollars back then. So that's why we have those, and that they weren't struck very long. Our next dollar coin would be the seated Liberty dollar, 1836 to 1873. Now, they were struck for a little bit while longer just because of they were starting to have more mint presses, things like that, so they could actually do all the coins all the time instead of only doing a couple here, a couple there. So they did those for a total of 30. Sorry, my footage is. They did those for a total of 36 years. Then that would be the seated Liberty dollar, which we all know and love, which is very expensive to try to get your hands on today. But while they were doing the silver, they started doing the gold dollar coins in 1849. Now, in 1849 to 1889, they were minted in different sizes. From 49 to 53, gold dollar coins were at 13 millimeters. Now, what I mean by 13 millimeters is, we'll get to this coin in a minute, but the circumference of it around was 13 millimeters. So it was small. And then they took it to 15 millimeters to thin it out and make it larger. And those were from 54 to 55. And the Type 3, they started 56 to 89, which they changed the design just a little bit. After that, what they did was the trade dollars. They only did those for a very short period of time because those were in response to Western powers such as Great Britain, France, Spain, Mexico, and it was to complete the trade coins for use in trade in Asia. So they did those in 90% silver, which weighed 420 grains. And back then, with what we know with the silver content, things of that nature, they did those only because of the price of silver is what I'm trying to get at. Because of the silver coins and everything, and because you know that our currency is backed by gold and silver, or at least it was back then. Trade dollars were not actually intended to circulate in the United States initially, but were legal tender for up to $5. Things changed, however, in 1876 when it started spiraling downward and Western producers dumped silver onto the market. So that's how we have them in circulation today, and that's how we got our hands on them. Our next coin after that, trade dollars are I don't have a picture to show you, and I don't have the coin. I wish I did because I don't have that kind of money. Kiki, the best thing to do is just Google up a trade dollar and see what it is, and that's the best thing that you could do. Now our next coin is from is what we all know and love. It's our Morgans. Now, these start at 1878. Obviously, this is in 1883 because I don't have it in 78. And they went to 1904. And some people are saying, well, that's not right. I have a 1921 Morgan. How is that possible? Well, Morgans went from 1878 to 1904. The reason that they stopped in 1904 was because of Teddy Roosevelt and World War I. They needed all the metal for ammunition, bullets, machinery, things of that nature, so they stopped making these. And then back in 1921, they finalized it with the minting, so they have some coins in 1921, which they did a lot of them. And they're the most common because they made so many to try to catch up on demand for the Morgan dollars. So since they had to catch up on demand with those, and that is our Morgan, and that O we know is from the New Orleans Mint. Now the second coin after the Morgan, in the same year, in 1921, they also made peace dollars. Now this is a 22 because I don't have a 21. But they made the peace dollars from 1921 to 1928. And they had a pretty good run at it. These treaties officially ended the Allies' World War I. And with the two countries, in 1922, what you see in front of you, the Mint made silver dollar production its top priority. So the 1921s, yes, it's my favorite coin. So 1921s are a little harder to find because in 1922 is when they started mass producing them into 28. They originally called for a 1-year suspension, but it was extended by the Great Depression because in 1928, we all know we had the Great Depression. Mintage resumed in 1934, but only for 2 years. So they stopped in 28, and by the time the country was able to get back on its feet through the Great Depression, the mintage finally was able to resume making peace dollars in 34 and in 35, and then they stopped again. The reason that they stopped was because demand back then was gold, not silver. So they started making, in 33, they started making the $20 gold double eagle, things of that nature. They started making all the gold coins. Then there was a long period of time, and the reason there's a long period of time between the peace dollar, and we'll get to the next coin, which is the Eisenhower dollar, which are the Ikes, which is my second favorite coin. The reason there was such a long period of time is because there was just no interest in them. Nobody really wanted them. We had the silver certificates, or what we call blue seals. They were paid in silver dollars, so we didn't need any more silver dollar coins floating around. They already had plenty. And then people just lost interest in them because this is literally, it's a pretty big coin. You know, these are not small coins. You got like $10 in your pocket. This is going to weigh down your pocket. So people didn't really, or, you know, their satchels back then or anything like that. They didn't want to carry around a big, heavy bunch of coins. So they thought it was just a lot more practical to carry 10 $1 bills than it is dollar coins. But what they didn't realize was the paper tears, crackles, it gets used so much that they had to keep supplying more, and they ended up realizing that this is not the way we want to do business. So they actually, for the first time, wanted to get rid of the paper currency, but Congress wouldn't allow it to stay with dollar coins. So they made these until 1978, from 71 to 78. But because these were so big, they're like, well, let's see if we can shorten it down. So they did shorten it down. In 79, they went to this, which is known as the Susan B. Anthony dollar. Because of the Susan B. Anthony dollar being so small, it has literally got confused. A lot of merchants and cashiers would confuse this coin with a quarter. Since it is confused with the quarter a lot, they only minted those from 79 to 81. Hi, Mama Lou. They only minted this coin from 79 to 81 for 3 years. That's the reason, because there was just so much complaint about this being so small, that they only did make those until 81. But then they turned around, because of the $0.25 from 1893. The coins were issued for collectors, and so these they made in 99 because they had extra planchets. These were not intended for circulation. These were never intended to be circulation. These were intended just to be in collectors' hands. These weren't intended to ever be spent. The 99s were never intended to be spent. After the 81s, these were not intended to be spent at all. So what they came up with after 90, during 99, is they decided to come up with the Sacagawea dollar in 2000. Now, I did skip over one because we haven't got to it yet, but they did start this, which we all know and love, the American Silver Eagles. They started these in 1986. But there's nobody I know that goes and just uses this for $1. These were intended for silver and investing, what we use them for. These were not intended to be spent. I don't know, and I don't think anybody does, but these were intended for investment purposes only, which are the American Silver Eagles. The Sacagawea dollar is, they decided to make that, it was authorized in Congress in 1997 because of the supply of Anthony dollars. The inventory since the last mintage was 81, the Susan B. Anthony's, was soon to be depleted, was expected to be depleted. Now, the Susan B. Anthony dollars, I don't actually have any with the eagle on them. Thought I did, but I don't. But they look just like this, same size, everything. But this is the presidential dollar, and we'll get to this one here in a minute. But they look exactly the same, except they have Sacagawea on it, which was the first lady in history to ever be on a dollar coin when they threw Sacagawea on there. Then they did a Native American series in 2007. That didn't last long, but in the start of January of 2009, in 2007, when they did the Native American series, they started the George Washington and the presidential series. They did all the way, they did 44, I believe. I want to say it's 44. Yes, 44. So they did, 42, not 44. I do apologize. They did 42 of these. So then they came out with 5 each year, just like they did with the quarters, things of that nature. And Susan B. Anthony was on different stuff because Susan B. Anthony was on the dollar coin. Yes, but Sacagawea they put as the first. What I meant to say was the first golden dollar. They called it the golden dollar coin, not the first dollar coin. I'm sorry, the first golden dollar coin. Thank you for correcting me. So that's it wasn't the first dollar coin. Susan B. Anthony was the first dollar coin. Sacagawea was the first golden dollar coin, but she was also the first Native American. Which brings us up to the American Innovation dollars, which we all know and love, which aren't actually that popular yet. The American Innovation dollar is 2018 to present. Now, from what I understand, they're going to run through to 2032. So we're going to have these gold, brass, copper-plated dollar coins for many years to come. That's going to cover each of the 50 states, and it's going to cover the District of Columbia and the 5 U.S. territories, which are Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands. George Washington signing the country's first patent into law was released in December of 2018. The coins are currently only being minted for collectors. So these coins that they're making now are not, again, intended for circulation, but we know how well that works out. It's never intended for circulation, but people are going to start spending them sometime, and they're going to start getting into circulation for that reason. So I did this a lot quicker than I wanted to, only because I didn't get the right setup that I wanted. I wanted these to be about an hour long, but I'm okay with a 20 to 25 minute stream. Thank you guys. I do appreciate. Let me change the camera. I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Kiki, thank you for stopping by on your break. We do appreciate it. And my pop machine at work spits out dollar coins. Really? Kiki, put in a request for work. We need a pop machine that spits out dollar coins. Is it spitting out the newer ones, the older ones? I'm kind of curious on that now. It's just like the presidential ones or things of that nature. I know you do, and okay. Oh, it does both. Wow. Wow. Oh, that's right. You're in the Dakotas. Yeah, you're in the cool area. That's why. But no, again, like I said, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Kiki, I appreciate you stopping by on break. I'm going to keep this short so that way if people want to watch this afterwards, it's not eyesore or anything like that. It'd be a lot. Be kind of like a video. So I know you can't see my face. I did that on purpose. I actually had it set up where I was going to use OBS, so I was going to have my face over here and then everything else over here, but it didn't work out. So we're going to try to get a couple extra cameras and we're going to set it up properly the next time. So everybody, I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Kiki, love you. Don't work too hard. Mama Lou, thank you for stopping in. Amanda, everybody else that stopped by, thank you so much. I got to go too. You all have a great day. I'm going to sign out for now. So Money Maniac signing out. You all have a great day.